Yo, what is up, everyone? Korin back with another video. Yeah, and as the title implies, I'm bringing you another collab death battle prediction. And today, got the homies, got Lord Kurai, we got Captain Forrest Crib, we got Amy, aka Simple Star. Heck, we even have a bunch of other badasses who might even be picking up certain points. So without further ado, we're going to give our thoughts on the next death battle. Yeah, that's right. King Mickey versus Yoda. So without further ado, I'm going to give the mic over to Kira, and he'll talk about Yoda and his scaling a little bit and what he's really bringing to the table.
All right. Okay. Okay. So now, before we even start this, I'd like to. We're gonna give some credit first to Crisis, who actually helped us out with the Yoda research and actually presented a lot of good stuff that Yoda has. So now first, let's talk about to where Yoda scales. We are gonna actually post like this stuff on screen. Yoda obviously scales above Dooku, who like Dooku has the power of all of the darkness and to remain of how Dooku took his hands and could even strike down Obi-Wan Kenobi out of all people. So he has some like skill in there, and then he also has and also he can hurl jagged fragments, which is actually really nice when it comes to scaling. And then also, if you look on screen, it even says he gathered the forces once more in a single indraw breath that summoned the power from throughout the universe. So already right there with some universal scaling, not wall level. I'm joking, but yeah. So it's already right off the bat, you already have some universal scaling for like Yoda, and and then when it comes to Yoda, all in general, like Yoda really doesn't even have like that many hacks per se, like because all Yoda really even has is just a force stun, which which he can like potentially like stun people's like senses, so which is pretty good in his own right. But yeah, if we're gonna go on to speed, he does have some like light dodging stuff, like in dodging lasers, um, and then that's pretty much it. I really have like there's really like not that much for Yoda for say. It's like because Yoda is not one of those other like Star Wars characters that has like a lot more hacks per se. But yeah, that's like all I really have to say for Yoda at this point.
All right. So I'll get into King Mickey a little bit, right? And for us to come in, just go on from there. So Mickey, in terms of attack power, there's a couple ranges you can obviously scale him to pretty casually. We have characters like Zeus, who can casually manipulate stars with his own raw power, create constellation. He consistently did this throughout all the games. He created like star constellation formations of like Sora and Donald and Goofy, for example. And to think about this, right? These Titans in the game can like damage Zeus and like mess him up, and even chained him up in the third one. Um, Sora can obviously fight against, damage him. Mickey can easily fight alongside Sora, scale to Sora, and in some instances, like scales above him, give or take, right, or below, give or take. But regardless, he is consistently shown to be above Sora, or consistently on that level. So right off the bat, that's easily like star to solar system level feat. Now, there's also some higher stuff like Universal, as like we have the worlds and parts. Some of these worlds themselves, like the Lilo and Stitch world, for example, is universal in size, while some of them are planet in size. Some of them are like solar system in size. They have a star, but regardless, some of these universal size worlds have been threatened by certain Heartless that Sora and the gang can fight. Along with damage these Heartless, and they can fight Heartless who literally dominate these same Heartless along with like other nobodies. who would scale to this, along with Organization 13. And you also have Kingdom Hearts itself having its own like universal scaling, even like an elite Kingdom Hearts. So, not saying they necessarily scale like Mickey scales to like a full-on Kingdom Hearts, but obviously Xemnas and other characters have like held portions of Kingdom Hearts, power, what have you. Yeah, they would scale to a pretty amount, just not the totality. Say, yeah. So there's some universal feats, and I'll leave some links down below, stuff like that. Now, getting into speed scaling, we see Kingdom Hearts 2, Riku, Dora, very impressive because they're in close proximities of like a large surrounding area of lasers. Like there's hundreds to possibly even thousands of lasers easily, at least, coming at them from all angles, and like they're forced to like react to all these lasers and block them all within a very very short time frame, like second bare minimum. So that's that right there, and I'll leave a calc for that. But that's easily putting them millions of times the speed of light on its own, and I'll leave a calc down below for that. And King Mickey casually scales to this, and a matter of fact, you can argue he's more agile, at has more agility. So you can easily see they have casual DL plus reaction time and combat speed right there. Moving on to hacks, a good one right here because King Mickey is known for using his time hack in character and combat as well. This could be a problem potentially down the road. We'll get into later. But yeah, that's one of his go-to things is like time manipulation. It's actually very credible. One of his like well-known and notable hack that he likes to. He has other stuff. Obviously, you can argue for him, like little stuff like gravity manipulation, fire, ice, thunder, lightning, all that stuff. But I would say the time hack is definitely one of, if not his greatest hack that he has to just really complement his attack power, his agility, his skill, his speed, experience, all that stuff. Um, with that out of the way, I'll let Forrest come in, give some thoughts.
Yeah. So, looking at how this fight would go down, again, quick shout out to Crisis for some of the Yoda scaling. Yoda's speed, he does have some like low end, so like he has like relativistic speeds and FTL speeds, of course, like definitely like a lot of Star Wars characters, they're able to react to like lasers being fired at them, they can deflect them, so on and so forth. There also is some MFTL scaling you could argue for Yoda. Unsure of the quantification, um, but if we do go off this, let's say for example they both have like MFTL reaction speed, um, of course. The precognition, Yoda does have the precognition, which would complement the speed, which would probably allow him to definitely precog some of Mickey's attacks. This would help him keep him in the game, allowing him to try to anticipate anything that Mickey does with the Force. But I would say that the strongest win con would be the time manipulation for King Mickey. This would be a very dangerous thing because Yoda doesn't really have anything against that, which would be a problem, especially because of the quantification. Millions of times into MFTL definitely could be possibly a blitz. The time manipulation would just stop Yoda dead in his tracks. Yoda does have some like a lot of like general abilities with the Force, like Force push. He could definitely push him back. He's got telekinesis. He definitely does have some other ways to try and deal with King Mickey. He does have like his lightsaber, of course. A lot of the Star Wars characters who wield lightsabers are very skilled in swordsmanship, so there might be a skill edge. Definitely, I see more leaning towards like Yoda, definitely, because of the different styles that they use. And Yoda also does have the Force stun, so he could possibly incapacitate um, King Mickey. and if King Mickey does perform any of his like elemental attacks, he could perform like a force push, or like use the force to try and like deflect some of them, or the lightsaber itself. But it's kind of close-ish. But I do kind of want to lean more over to King Mickey purely because of the time manipulation. It's just way too much for Yoda to deal with, because Yoda would pretty much be off guard via just the time being frozen, and he wouldn't be able to know what's happening. But yes, I would lean more over to like King Mickey more often than not. I do see King Mickey just overwhelming with hexes. But yes, that's just my thoughts.
All right. Who wants to go next? Phoenix, you
Just
want to give your thoughts?
oh then we could
Wait,
give the
wait,
Jester. Well, go ahead, Mickey. Go ahead.
all right. For my thoughts, I agree with Forrest for the most part. That, like, Yoda, like, he has some ways to win. Like, he is way more skilled and experienced in terms of like direct combat training and like facing at experienced Jedi. But like, it's mostly Mickey's hacksy abilities and his speed is what's really gonna make it null and void. Yoda does have ways to like restrain him, like force stun or like force push or restrain him with the force. But that would be null and void by Mickey's speed advantage and Mickey in character usually going for the finishing blow instead of like wearing the targets down like Yoda does for most of his fights. So like overall, Yoda might be the more experienced fighter, the better versatility, and also the better fighter overall. But even then, Mickey edges out because of his speed, power, and magic. So yeah.
Right on. Anyone else want to go?
Okay, so I'll give my thoughts, and then and then we'll let Jester can give his thoughts on it as well. So now for my thoughts, so like I said again, like big thanks go to Crisis, because he's the one that actually gave us this, because we don't know nothing about Star Wars. But yeah, it's like from this point I agree with what Forrest and Phoenix say. Because like even with like because I'm just gonna say this, even with the precog and with the speed, like it's like when Mickey having the speed advantage, it's like literally when Mickey stops time, even if you try arguing like precog, like all Yoda is just gonna see through his precog, it's just Mickey stopping time, because he's not gonna have a fast enough reaction to even activate his precog, or even if it's activatable, because the thing is we don't even know, is I haven't seen this precog to be passive, but that's just through my eyes. I could be wrong. I just haven't seen that it's passive. But if it's not passive and he has to activate it, then Mickey is just gonna be able to even get that time stop ability, even before he can even like do his little precog stuff. And then also when it comes down to skill, you could argue that Yoda does have more skill because him being alive longer and in all of his training. But then if you look at it from like in the end, this still all goes down to just King Mickey in himself, like just having like, you could argue like bigger AP and having more speed, just for Mickey just to get the one shot in and just leave Yoda die or something like that. So I'm gonna give it to Jester, and Jester, you can give your thoughts on it.
Okay, yeah, I definitely would think that from what I know from Kingdom Hearts, it's a mismatch, especially since King Mickey has existence erasure, and he has time stop, and he has all these abilities that Yoda doesn't have. Like if they did like restrict those abilities, I think he would still have to deal with the AP gap that they both have. So I would definitely give it to Mickey Mouse. Love Yoda, but that boy Mickey's coming in thick.
Dang, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that Mickey had existence erasure. So
Yeah, he has like the heart itself is more fundamental than your existence. So even if your existence is erased, right, your heart will remain. So it's actually a fun thing about Kingdom Hearts when you actually debate it.
Yeah, the
You can
heart is
even argue
actually
it can.
abstract.
Can
So
I
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it's
can
can
like
I
argue it
ask some
conceptually.
questions? So
Sure.
yeah,
because like I don't know much about Yoda, so that's why I wanted to ask everybody to be sure, so I could give
Yeah,
my
sure.
verdict on it.
all right, sure.
Sure.
But because based on what everybody's telling me, does you guys think agree that Yoda doesn't have anything to counter erasure, right?
no, definitely doesn't.
So,
Yeah.
oh, because like here's the thing, though, right? The Keyblades from the Kingdom Hearts has been shown like even as early like around Read Chain of Memories, where Sora, even while he was still like inexperienced with the Keyblade, can destroy nobodies who later on is revealed to be beings that already exist in a state of non-existence. So they can erase. So even like so, Keyblades can literally erase beings that already don't actually exist. That think about that.
It's
But
like it's just
Yeah,
conceptual
yeah,
erasing
conceptual manip.
non-existent.
Because like they're already non-existent because they don't have a heart. Which, by the way, the heart, like you mentioned before, heart is like a conceptual force in the verse.
Yeah, and like another thing, like it would also put up like a resistance to like mental hacks. In Kingdom Hearts, just having like a strong will or a belief, like you can resist the Heartless trying to take over you, and like the Heartless can take over your like concept and like your very fundamental being.
You
Well,
can.
So like
There's not. There's also the fact that like talking. Also, like the thing about the time stop that Mickey has. Something that I should also bring up is that one of his most casual one of his most casual time stops is Stabza, which if you know anything about like the Kingdom Hearts thing is like the name of the ability, like the higher names means that it's a stronger form of magic or magic spell. So like it's literally a even more powerful, like it's even more powerful than just a base time stop. So even if Yoda did have a resistance, the like regular resistance, he wouldn't be able to resist like the stronger one, like Stopza.
yeah, and then also to like further touch upon that in both of you, what both you and Phoenix were saying, it's even with having that like resistance against mind hacks. So either way, like Yoda's mind hacks wouldn't even be able to work on Mickey Mouse either way. So and then you can also make an argument as well, like not even the Force will even able to affect Mickey Mouse because of what both of you guys have presented. Like even like with him having all these resistances, like so like Yoda literally doesn't stand a chance because and you know what this is how I feel like this fight's gonna go. But we already know that Death Battle is gonna make it fair. You're gonna make it fair. We're gonna make Yoda win because we love sucking up Star Wars. But yeah, here's how I see it's gonna go, or it should go. That literally Yoda ain't gonna do nothing to Mickey Mouse. He ain't gonna do nothing to Mickey Mouse. And all Mickey Mouse is just gonna do, go pull up to his house and fuck his bitch. That's what he's gonna do.
Wait, what?
another thing I could mention is the fact that like even if Yoda is able to like push back Count Dooku's like Force Lightning, if Mickey tries to use lightning magic, Mickey's lightning magic in the game is like not only linked not only way more powerful since it's like linked to his attack potency for his magic, and also it's like a bigger range of effect. It isn't like a small lightning blast like Count Dooku did to Yoda. It's like a large lightning bolt from the sky, so it would overwhelm Yoda if it were ever to come to that.
Yeah, facts. So like my prediction overall is that Mickey Mouse should win. And then someone else can go on to say who they'll win, and then we'll just wrap it up.
So like I think overall from what we've all gathered, Mickey should take this one more often than not due to having like almost every perceivable counter imaginable to Yoda's abilities. Yoda's precognition, while plentiful, he doesn't necessarily always use it in combat most of the time. Half the time he's using it to warn others or warn Obi-Wan and the other Jedi on like a futuristic event, but he himself doesn't naturally use his precognition often in a fight. And even with it, Mickey's way too fast, way too powerful, and his magic arsenal would be way too unpredictable uh, for the old Jedi to handle. And like ultimately, Mickey is just like is just another fighter compared to like Yoda's like rogues gallery. As Yoda's never really fought someone like as versatile and as skilled as like probably probably as skilled and if not more, but in terms of versatility and arsenal and how to fight, he's never fought someone so identical to him before.
or even better for that sake. That but that's what I say. But yeah. So like, thank you guys for watching. Go subscribe to Korin. Go subscribe to everyone that's in this VC. Thank you all, and have a good day. Peace.
Peace.